We'll start with Omkaram and Sai Gayatri. Om. 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 Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Very good evening and loving Sairams to all of you. Offering my humble salutations to the divine lotus feet for beloved Swami. I welcome you all for today's session. Today's chapter, as you know, Maya Manjushika, which has a different open formats. And we have a sub chapter, Blessed Souls, and second episode of this sub chapter. So last, I think we had discussed the experiences of Sri Sita Ramaya, who was the son of Sri Ramramam Garu. In this particular chapter, so where we would go through different personal experiences of a particular devotee and learn a lot of lessons from it and take delight, journeying with that devotee through the description of the story. Most of us are aware, most of us, it is our sadhana to chant Swami's Ashtottara. For most of them, it's even by heart. But how much, how many of us had attempted to, in depth, to know the meaning of each and every name? Even for that matter, Swami, till today, he provides testimonies, a lot of proofs evident, whether in our lives or the lives around us, to supporting each and every nama, whether it is Karuna Karaya Namaha, Bhakta Parayanaya Namaha, anything, any name you take, till today, he is showing his quite evident proofs. So, but how many of us attempted with with sincere inquiry of each and every name? Probably we would do it mechanically. We would do it on a time basis. Daily we would do as a sadhana. Definitely, yeah, it has a value. There's nothing wrong in that. But how many of us have really made a serious inquiry of each and every name? And if you look at every name is so potent in that with that that it can open doors of greater bliss within us. Each and every name, if you just contemplate, and even it has a every name has got a power to annihilate this the wheel of ignorance that has clouded our mind. So every name has a infinite or I think the boundless uh, uh, power, and you can see each many stories are associated. Even I think if you remember with Jodi Adipalli Somapaya Namaha, we have a story of famous Carnatic singer Sudha Raghunathan. During her childhood, we have a story like that. Each and every name we find many stories, but we are not able to observe. Daily these are happening around us, in sometimes in our lives, sometimes the lives around us, but we are in this quagmire of pride and attachment, too much into our lives, too much focus into the we are drowned too much into this quagmire of uh, ahankara and mamakara, so that makes us blind to all these miracles that happen around us on a daily basis. And what the beauty is, Swami means everything, whatever he tells. So these are all assurances. Whenever you take one nama, each nama, each name is an assurance from him. And we have supplementing that name. Oh, I think there is n number of stories. We can take n number of stories from n number of devotees to that extent. So we should contemplate on those stories. We should listen to such stories so that we gain a stability of mind and we reinforce our faith by listening to stories. If you look at the advent of Bhagavatam, that came exactly at the beginning of Kali Yuga. So what does it signify? If you look at Bhagavatam, we have stories of God and mainly the stories of devotees. You find inspiring stories of uh, Prahlada, wonderful stories of Dhruva, and even we have stories of Ajamila, where it is a sort of warning, a sort of caution to us how, if we are not able to control our senses, how senses can bring us down. We have seen how the spiritual maturity he gains, Ajamila gains in his period of time with his sadhana. We have even discussed that he was almost near gaining the Brahma Jnana. He was just one round away. That's it. He cleared all the rounds and he was just one round away to become a Brahma Jnani. Probably if he had become that, probably he would have given Bhagavatam to us other than Shuka, rather than Shuka. So that would be, from that level, he had come down so much that he had wasted many years in the sensory pleasures. And finally, one day he realized. So he was at least lucky enough that he got a second chance. But how many of us are going to get such chances? It's very tough. So why should we listen to the stories? Why should we listen to the experiences of no other devotees and all? Sometimes they say no. Yeah, it's wise to learn from our own experience, but it's wiser to learn from others' experiences. Time, I mean, the main thing is Kali Yuga is we don't have much time for us to experience each and everything. For that matter, what all the ordeals that Prahlada went through, if we are also probably the lifespan in that Yuga is more. So he has time to undergo that ordeal and to do a lot of things, but we don't have that much time. So we should start developing faith by listening to such stories, delighting our minds with such stories. So today is we'll listen to wonderful story of a devotee by name Vinay Kapoor. He was an ardent devotee of Swami from late 60s, and he served as state president Sri Sathya Seva organizations Punjab from 1977. I think till recently he was there. I think to 2017 or 18. So he came into fold of Swami 1968. So before coming into his fold, he was a very successful businessman. And as a part of, he was residing in Jalandhar, Punjab. And as a part of the transactions, the business transaction, he used to meet many people. And one of the friends as part of his business transactions was Srinivasan, a person named by Srinivasan from South. So he was Swami's devotee and he used to organize bhajans on a regular basis at his place. And he used to invite Vinay also every time. But Vinay was not much into, no, he had never heard about Swami. Now he was more interested in spiritual matters. So he was not paying much heed to the requests of Srinivasan. But Srinivasan didn't give up. He went on persuading. So one day, for courtesy's sake, he goes to bhajan. And those days in Srinivasan's home, it was very common what vibhuti coming out of photos and Amrit coming out of photos was very common in his place. So that day also, to everyone's astonishment and that even intrigued Vinay also, he was direct witness to the vibhuti coming out of photos of Swami. So that sort of fascinated him. But later, it just intrigued for some time, and later he just got into his mundane life and he forgot about it. But Srinivasan finally, he persuaded one day to organize bhajan at Vinay's home. So he convinced him. So Vinay never had even a photo of Swami. So not even one photograph of Swami he had. So he had to borrow photos from other devotees. So he organized bhajan. And Bhagwan's grace was there. And even in his home, there was a manifestation of vibhuti and amrit from these photos. That sort of aroused a lot of interest in knowing about Swami, and also to have darshan of Swami physically. So that's when in 1969 he went to Whitefield, Vrindavan, and there he had Bhagwan's darshan. And he even procured a lot of photos also of Swami. And Swami blessed with Padanamaskar in the very first visit itself. And after that, a unique experience happened to Mr. Vinay. And in fact, that experience was more beneficial to him also. Probably what he had got or he had acquired, people had to really do a great sadhana with a lot of determination. And even then, it may take quite long time. And definitely, it needs Bhagwan's grace for what he had achieved. So, just by Bhagwan's Padnamaskar, he developed an abrupt aversion towards alcohol and non-vegetarian food. He never considered them as bad habits earlier, nor he made any conscious attempt to get rid of them also. So that just happened naturally after Bhagwan's Padnamaskar. Shed an aversion. So now most of us may question here. Why is it so? I mean, I have been struggling with a bad habit and I have been asking Swami, I have been praying Swami, but nothing much is happening. Why to this person or some person it just happens just by one Padnamaskar? Why that difference? Am I not a deserved? Am I not so deserved, or I didn't attain so much punya? So a lot of questions can come. Here, one thing we need to now understand is Swami always addressed us as who we really are, as Atma Swarupulara, Divyatma Swarupulara. And also, he even treated us as only who we are. So Swami used to say, whenever I come to darshan, I don't look at your bodies. I look at your Atma. And I always, my always thought is what I can do to better this life, better this soul. What karma I can adjust, what I can annihilate, what I can make him go through so that he can reach me faster. That's the only way. That's the only way because God contemplates. No, God is all Bhakta Parayana Namaha, Loka Rakshana Parayana Namaha. These are all these, if you look at these names, he is totally dedicated in contemplating the ways how to better our lives. That's his constant contemplation. Even if we look at this current period, we had Ashadi Ekadashi recently, which is also known as Shayana Ekadasi, where Lord Narayana goes into Yoga Nidra. So these 4 months till Kartika Shukla Ekadashi, which is called Uttana Ekadashi, he will be contemplating on the ways how to protect the world much better, what I can do. So this particular period is called by scriptures called Yoga Nidra. So he's always in the contemplation. The Swami also says, I'm always in the contemplation. So the path set for one would be different. The prescription for one would be different with the other. So it is very unwise, or I would say it is far from wisdom to compare one with the other. We should not compare ourselves. We have our own paths, our own prescriptions by Swami. Even once, my aunt stretched her hand and Swami was manifesting vibhuti. Then Swami gave it to her friend and suddenly Swami said, no, it's not to you. It's not for you. Later she came to know that vibhuti was a medicine for some ailment her friend had. So like that, so it's not same for all. It's different for each soul, depending on the loads of karma we have brought. So he would decide it. So it's we should not compare. So that could have been, he might have been doing a lot of sadhana from many births, Mr. Vinay. Even for that matter, if you look at Ramana Maharshi's life, he attained self-realization at the age of 16. And before, if you look at his life, he never did any particular great sadhana before that also. He was a happy-go-lucky child. He was jumping out of homes at night, and he used to play on the banks of river along with friends. And many such very mundane and natural activities were done as a youngster, as a child or youngster. So nothing you could see something amazing he did, or so only happened suddenly to him. So that does mean that no, it can happen suddenly to everyone. No, he might have done a lot of sadhana in very intense penance he would have done in his previous lives. So also depending upon different spiritual levels to us, everyone would get a different prescriptions. It's not that if one is of one particular level and one is of some other high level, it's nothing like wrong or anything to be looked down upon also. It is just like, in this world, Swami says, all this inequality. We have a child, we have a youngster, we have a middle-aged man, we have an old man, we have a bud, we have a little bloom flower, we have full bloom flower. All this, and it makes this world so amazing. For all our jnanis, what is there? There is no fun. So everyone should be at different level. Then only there will be, even a gnani also can come down to a level and tell us. So that's why there is a beauty in this. There's nothing to feel bad about any. So everyone is at their own levels. So everyone will get to the higher level in their own pace. So Swami's grace will be there. So here, nothing to compare with anyone. That's a lesson we need to learn from our. So Swami mainly says, avoid 3 C's. Don't compare, don't complain, don't criticize. So he told one of his students in his interview. So avoid always these 3 C's in your life. Don't compare, don't complain, don't criticize. So whatever it is, Mr. Vinay was a blessed soul to get rid of such a deep-rooted habit to to get vanished in a trice. And after that, his lifestyle didn't take any great change or something. He was attending his regular gatherings, his regular parties and all, but only one thing, yeah, he was keeping or distancing himself from non-veg and alcohol. Suddenly, the aversion was there, hatred was there towards these two things. And it's not that because of he was obstructing others, or he was trying to comment on others. No, nothing was that. He didn't do anything of that sort. Only he himself was distancing himself from those things, but he was not obstructing anyone else, either his friends. But still, it didn't go well with his friends. They started belittling him. They even started making comments on Swami. That sort of hurt Vinay, and he slowly started avoiding them. And sort of, he started distancing himself from even his friends. So slowly, that distance uh, increased day by day. One day, he happened to go to one old friend, and they had a wonderful conversation. And out of the request of his friend, he stayed back for lunch. And that day, that friend, who was a very close friend, an old friend, so he started reminding all those old stories. And suddenly, you used to relish fish curry. So today, for our friendship's sake, you need to have fish curry. So he was like, you have to know it's a promise on of friendship. Otherwise, it's a name of friendship you need to. So now, when I is in sort of doldrums, suddenly there is an anxiety what to do, because there is a very strong urge to not to touch them. But here, an old friend, somewhere he's becoming weak within. But stability is being lost. So what to do? So he had ordered some fish curry in the hotel. His friend had ordered. So the person had brought the plate with the curry, and there was a cover on that, some magazine cover. So suddenly Vinay happened to notice when he took out the cover, this big Swami's photograph on that cover, on that page. So it was a page from a magazine. Some article was written on Swami, and there was a big photograph. So suddenly, whatever that stability that was lost was regained. Now his firm, see, what do you say about this? So Swami had come all the way on the fish curry to warn me. So to that level, physically, Swami never told him to stop eating non-veg. So all this was happening within. Suddenly, it's all within, it's happening, and Swami is also taking care of it. So he was very clear about what was happening, and he even persuaded his friend. So I would never touch in my life non-veg. I would never touch alcohol. It is for sure. Now you have seen the proof also. So nothing doing. So that's where it went off. So Swami always said, person on a spiritual path, for a person on a spiritual path, definitely this tamasic food or anything, tamasic drinks are to be avoided. Maybe it is suitable for certain particular people depending on their professions, but especially people who are serious about spiritual progress, definitely we need to be far from these two things. But that doesn't mean again that Bhagwan would judge someone who is trying, who is not able to win over these habits. That will never happen. Bhagwan will give his own time. He deals everyone with his own pace, as I told. Everyone's prescription is different. His love for everyone is same. Doesn't matter if because someone had been successful in doing that, Swami loves him more. Swami loves other one. No, nothing like that. He would give time, he would have patience because he knows who we are. So he knows he would not prescribe same thing for all. Even Professor Anil Kumar would always say, had Bhagwan to judge us and allow into Prashant Nilayam, probably entire Prashant Nilayam would be empty. So he accepts us as we are, and slowly he would transform us. So his love for everyone is equal, for everyone, whoever we are, whatever internally we are. So we being available to him is the only one I think we have to do from our side. Even that also he only draws us somehow. So once we get into, it's up to him how he would transform us. He has his own ways to transform his each devotee, and he has one-to-one connection with. So nothing to worry about whether I'm left out or I'm not in eyes of Swami. There's nothing like that. He is each and every one of us are in personal care of Swami. So that is anyway true. Nothing to worry about or doubt it. We need not doubt about it. So in 1969, Vinay developed a sort of ailment. So he was joined in Ludhiana hospital and he was in observation for 10 days and they found out that there was a stone in his kidney and he needs to be operated. And he suffered almost more than 15 days. The pain was quite intense. But he was adamant that I don't want to undergo surgery unless otherwise Bhagwan approves it. He was very adamant to go to Parthi and seek permission of Swami. Only after he permits me, I would do. That sort of created a rift between him and his family members. For all of the family members, there was a sort of battle royal at home, a sort of non-cooperation movement going on at home. So they snatched money, they snatched keys. So do whatever you want. If you're adamant and you want to go, you just go. You don't come back. That's what they said. But somehow his wife gave him full support and they went. Finally, they went to Parthi. So there were festival days. Even getting accommodation was also tough. But in spite of all that, in spite of he had 104 degrees temperature, he went. He sat in the lines of darshan. All, circumstances were quite against to him. But his Karuna Karaya Namaha. Always the Swami is always compassionate Lord. So he came all the way and he blessed him with Vibhuti, the very first that visit itself, first day itself. Suddenly it felt like things are falling in place. After 5 days, Swami granted him interview and he gave a lot of Vibhuti. He said that you mix it with water and have it. So till then, what happened? He started even developing hiccups His diet drastically reduced. He was not eating much because there was no appetite at all. So, and there were, moreover, there were hiccups also. Whenever he had eaten anything, there were sort of hiccups. So he was not eating much. But after Swami gave this lot of vibhuti, suddenly when he, as per Swami's instruction, he mixed it in vibhuti and had that water. Suddenly he developed a voracious appetite that day and he had a very grand meal. So suddenly he developed that, and slowly, slowly things are getting better. And even after a few days, Swami even granted interview once again, one more, and he even gave much more vibhuti. And then Swami no, gave permission to them to go back. So finally they got permission to go back and everything was fine. So after that, nothing, no, nothing, no problem occurred to them. So it was fine. Everything was fine. So things were happening fine. So in 1970, this Srinivasan was his friend. So he had to be transferred. So he was transferred. And from then on, Vinay was conducting those regular bhajans which used to happen in Srinivasan's home. So he took that responsibility and he started organizing bhajans at his home regularly. And Swami also instructed them, especially once you go back home, you need to organize bhajans regularly at your home. That was the instruction, personal instruction from Swami. So he was following it to the letter. So then suddenly one day he thought, so every day earlier he, they used to regularly conduct bhajans on the terrace, but during the winters it would be very tough to conduct on the terrace, especially in the north, Punjab, Haryana, and all would be very, very cold. So he started conducting in the house. So suddenly he had a thought, why don't I construct some hall and so that I can regularly conduct bhajans at that place. So for everything, one thing is, yeah, he wanted Swami's permission. Without that, he would never even take one step ahead. So he immediately went to Parthi, so that he had this wish to construct a mandir over his house. Then Swami, before he could say anything, he gave him the plan. Oh, this is a plan for the mandir which you wanted to construct on the top of your house. So this is the plan I'm giving. So Swami clearly instructed what should be where, where the thing should be kept. Everything was clear, instructions were given, and he was more than happy. Before he could say anything, Bhagwan only gave everything. And he constructed a wonderful mandir, and people started coming and they were enjoying bhajans. They were performing wonderful activities, and even they started in full-fledged seva activities also eventually. And a lot of miracles also started happening in the same mandir. So yeah, Vibhuti Amrit were quite regular, just like earlier. And not only that, suddenly idols started appearing. God's idols, Krishna's idol, Nandi, Shivling, Lakshmi Devi. So like that, all the idols started appearing. And everyone was like totally, his mandir became talk of the town. And finally, one day, small Ganesh idol appeared. So every day, his wife used to, religiously, do all the puja and all the, things required for these idols. So one day, what's happened? She found this Ganesh idol missing as a part of that. She was like quite perturbed where it had gone. So she just there was a thought in her mind that probably she would have every day whatever that old flowers or no used flowers and all, she would just place them near the tulsi plant which they had in their vicinity. So she would go there and she would place. So probably she would have thrown that little idol there. So she goes back and finds it. Then she would be totally perturbed. What did I do? What blunder? Somehow I could get it back. Otherwise, what blunder I have done? So please, and she was like, completely clouded in grief. And she started praying Swami intensely. Swami, please, please. Somehow, you gave other idols a good size. So this is quite small. Why don't you, enhance the size of this? Somehow you do something. This mistake should not happen again. So I think the deep, when your prayer is sincere and from the deep depth of your hearts, definitely he's bound to listen. Swami is bound to listen. No? Artha Trana Parayanaya. Whatever the distress you have, no, if it is so deep, no, you need me, you deserve me, he says. So probably that moment she needs him. So he accepted her request, and that actually that idol grew in size. So from then on, it was quite visible. It was not something that it can be easily thrown off. It was visible, and pujas were done regularly to the all the idols. And one day, it was some summer day, and Thursday also the same time, and everyone was, because of being summer, so all of them were sleeping on the terrace. Suddenly, Mr. Vinay started. He was also in deep sleep. Suddenly, he felt like Swami was calling him. Vinay, Vinay, Vinay. So he just was not from out of sleep completely, but he looked at his watch. It was the clock nearby, and it was like 3 o'clock. Three, it's not the time to get up. Maybe it's my illusion, he thought, and he just brushed it aside, the voice, and he slept. Again, half an hour later, again he gets a call. He gets somebody calling him. Swami only calling him. Hey Vinay, Vinay, Vinay. Even then he turns up. Oh, it's not that. So now there is no option. So suddenly Swami had to make wake him, like placing his hand under his head. If someone wakes up somebody, forcefully placing a hand under the head, so like that, he was made woke up by Swami like that suddenly. So he woke up like that suddenly, and he could make out that Swami really wants to wake me up. So he woke up, and he felt like washing his face, and he went down and he washed his face in the nearby pump, and he found suddenly there was a light in one of his rooms downstairs. And he thought probably you might have forgotten switching it off. So that's why he washed his face, and after that, once he was coming back, he saw light was switched off. That sort of intrigued him. What was happening? He even found the door of a bathroom open. Suddenly, he was confirmed. He went inside. He switched on the lights, and he found a person, somebody, some uh, feet behind a curtain. Suddenly, he pounced on him and started beating him. So with that, entire the family had come and gathered him, and finally everyone was like astonished. So what happened to you? First of all, no, he said that Swami's miracle only. Swami woke me up, and everyone's, how dare that first of all, that person might be carrying some weapon. You never know, but how did he pounce on him? He says, I myself, I myself don't know. He himself was amazed for what had happened with him. So that's what, no, Swami would like Shakti Pradayaka Namaha. So he would, if at all he wants to give, he would make us do things on his own. So we would get energy just like that. It might have happened many times even with us. Sometimes even we get amazed for what we had done because of that kind of thing. And look at each and every small thing. When he takes care, when he gives that I'll protect you, it's not just at one level. At every level he protects us. At every level, just I'll take care of as an eyelid. Just an eyelid protects the eye. To that level, I'll protect you. So smallest thing also. So whoever we adore, that form, whatever it is, it takes that responsibility of protection to even the smallest thing. Even I had, this reminds me of an incident which my mother's music guru used to say. So he was from Guntur. He was actually, even classmate of Sri Mangalampalli Balamurali Krishna also, an old man. So he used to tell a story that had happened in 90s in his place only, Guntur only. So he was also great pandit. Along with being a musician, he knew many mantras, that exorcism and all that also he used to do. So he knew somebody in his vicinity, some great Brahmin, who was also a great bhakta of Narasimha Swami, Narasimha. So he used to chant always the Narasimha stotras and great devotee of Narasimha. So next to his home, a Muslim family used to stay. So one day the kids were playing, and there was one mango tree in his home. So that was a little near the wall, and a bit of it was going to the next home. So these kids wanted to somehow uh, get onto the tree and pluck some fruits. So kids, right? So one of the kids went up and he was about to pluck. Suddenly he saw a lion staring at him. Suddenly he just fainted. He just fell and fainted. Later it was told. So you could have asked me. This Brahmin told. So you could have asked me. I could have given. So I mean, I want to say that to that level he guards us. So as Narasimha was guarding his mango tree, so that not even a fruit is plucked, not even a fruit. He owns it to that level. So that's why. I mean, sometimes we listen to stories that he's guarding the Bali Chakravarti in the netherworld. At his door, he's guarding. We say so. That is the only story we think. No, he means it. And these are the wonderful stories which we are listening, which are happening right in front of our eyes. That Swami is doing. These are the real incidents that are whatever I'm speaking about. It's not somewhere. So those somewhere in Puranas, probably we may believe or may not believe, but these are very true stories. So from these things, it reinforces our faith. Yeah, what has been told by the scriptures, or what all those stories which we heard about Prahlada, Dhruva, are all true. That reinforces our faith. Then slowly, after a few days, even his wife started developing an ailment in her gallbladder, and suddenly it became quite intense, quite furious, and she was also joined in the hospital, and there was a surgery recommended even to her. And every time they used to carry Vibhuti and Swami's photo wherever they went. Suddenly, their entire room was full of aroma. Even the staff and other people were asking, "What room freshener do you use?" It's so intense. Even people from other rooms also would come and sniff that aroma till the power of their lungs, full power of their lungs, and they used to go. So that level of aroma used to be there. So, so during that time, he was Vinay was completely. He felt a sort of lonely. He was badly in need of a good support. So he was praying Swami intensely. Swami, please, please save me. Please, please save me. So suddenly he found some letters like Ram written on the floor or near the bed, and they looked red in color. So he found that they were not there before. Later, after his prayer, only they appeared, some sort of like that. And suddenly his relatives had come and was crying intensely. They thought that he was crying because of his for his wife. He said, "Oh no, I'm not crying for that. I'm crying because my Baba has shown miracle." So they brushed it aside. Probably someone would have written it, or maybe the previous patient would have written it, or something like that. Even staff of other rooms also said that we never write such things. So he believed whatever whether others validated it or not, he believed that yeah, it is my Swami only who did that. So surgery also went well and everything was fine. So from then on, Mr. Vinay was like regularly visiting Parthi every November, and every incident that happened to him, slowly he was progressing on the spiritual path. Ups and downs are there, but still his faith in Swami was reinforced every time. He was not giving up at all. Even if smallest success, everything is attributing to Swami only. So 1973, he went to Swami in no, to Parthi. So then he came to know that Bhagwan was in Bangalore, Vrindavan. So without any thought, without any concerning anyone, without any information, suddenly again he took a taxi and he went to Bangalore, Whitefield. And after reaching there, he came to know that Bhagwan went to Parthi. back. So suddenly again he went back to Parthi. Like that he made rounds. And that evening he could sit in the lines of darshan and Swami came. Yen tondara? Why this haste? But you have a lot of love. Swami said, yeah, tondara emi alochichavu gaani, what a love you have, how much love you have towards me, that you are now the penchant for me. You didn't even ask anything. You didn't even just like you want to see me badly. So that intensity Swami wants. No, everyone says if we have that intensity, things would happen instantly. That is the intensity we should have. Even I was telling about one example of Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So Vivekananda would ask him, so why would you see God and I'm not able to see God? So he said he drowns him in a water, and that time Vivekananda would gasp for air. He would be gasping. So, so once he lifts him up, he would say, see, you were badly in need of air that time. So what you were thinking that time, you were not thinking about anything else. You're thinking about only air. You're thinking about oxygen. So like that, you should be completely focused. That one pointed attention and that much intensity you should have. So things would happen instantly. So Swami said that you have that much love for me, and he takes care of each and every small things are known. Sarvajnaya Namaha. Small thing that you have gone there for all this distance. So Swami even acknowledges that I'm omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. Everything. And slowly Swami started introducing him to other nearby office bearers and all that, and other devotees. Slowly he started developing a sort of friendship with all that, and he started even intensely doing samiti activities around when Delhi also. Whenever he used to go to Delhi, he used to meet those office bearers and all. So like that he intensified his this thing, and one day he went in August 15th, he went to Parthi. That day was his marriage day, and he forgot completely. So Bhagwan manifests a ring to him and says, no, wish you a happy marriage day. So Bhagwan had to remind him that it's his marriage day. It was like, and then Bhagwan would say, and Sairam was written on that ring also. And Bhagwan then he said, now you undergo the surgery. Now you have to undergo the surgery. Whatever the surgery, because earlier he had an ailment, he suffered for, because of the kidney stone. Swami now granted the permission to undergo the surgery. At that point of time, he created Vibhuti, and somehow he, little averted that, but that was not completely averted. See, that's what Bhagwan does. Swami always talks about, don't forget those four cars. I have already, I have four important cars. The first I do Chamatkar to draw all of you towards me, like visiting cards. All the Chamatkars he does are like to draw us near to him, just like chocolates we give to children. Then he would say, I would sanskar. I would perform good sanskar. Like whatever the bad practices are there or whatever the habits, he would weed out slowly. He would transform us, and he would try to whatever that we have good practices within us. He would try to see that they grow more and these bad qualities are gone. So he would do the sanskar. Third, he would say he would teach paropkar. Third, so that's why the seva activities we started, doing seva basically the paropkar, so that you would get Atma Sakshatkar. So that's the four cars always for me wonderfully. So in that, if you look at even Vinay's life also, so first Chamatkar only happened in his home, and that sort of developed an intrigue in him, and he visited Swami physically, and then Sanskar only happened. Swami immediately removed in one shot. He removed that. He created an aversion towards non-veg and alcohol, and he uh, did the enough Sanskar to him. And after that, he taught the Paropkar. So he was intensely involved in the Seva activities. And finally, so that one day, this would lead him to Sakshatkar. So 1975 it was. So he was again joined in the hospital in Ludhiana, the same hospital which he had earlier joined for the surgery. And there was a famous surgeon, the nephrologist basically. So he was performing the surgery. So he performed the surgery. Suddenly what happened? So yeah, it was successful, but the place where the stitches were given, no, it was not completely closed. it was quite opening. The wound was quite opening, and pus all that formed nearby. And every time he did almost, no, he did the stitching for 4 times, but it was not successful. He was also clueless what was happening, and even both of them were restless. Even the patient was restless, doctor was also restless. What's happening? So suddenly, when I was clearly intensely started, Swami, only you are the, no, you are the recourse now. I take refuge completely in you. So only upon your request, I took up this operation. So now it is completely your responsibility. So you please now don't give hand. No, this is not the time you. So I have proceeded based on your instruction. So you only have to take care. So it's nothing doing now. Like sort of demand was also there. A lot of prayer was also intense prayer was also there. So the final fifth attempt doctor was doing to do the stitches this time. And suddenly what happened? This doctor started hearing a voice. Don't stitch. You just do the dressing. Don't stitch. Do just the dressing. Like it was continuous. And he was not, no, it is not the regular practice. As per the regular medical practice, he's supposed to do stitching and then only he's supposed to do it. No, like the instructions were contrary to the regular medical practice. So he was like, no, 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 I don't want to follow. I'll follow my regular whatever I'm supposed to do as per the protocol, as per the medical practice. So he was doing it. But suddenly he sort of experienced that he was doing something which he's not supposed to do. He is only doing. So he was slowly putting a lot of cotton on the wound and he was slowly bandaging. He was dressing. He didn't stitch. He knew that what he was doing is not he is doing. So somebody is like the autopilot mode he is in. So he was doing something completely against his own wish. So he was experiencing that. The doctor was, doctor became completely restless. Whereas Vinay could see Bhagwan physically, where Bhagwan was doing the dressing, and Bhagwan, after that, Bhagwan washed his hands, and later Bhagwan placed his hand over his forehead. And everything, he was completely chanting his name, and Vinay could see everything physically. Whereas this doctor was doing something which he is not supposed to do, but he himself was doing that. So that was the fun Bhagwan was playing with the doctor basically that time. So he was like totally perturbed. Doctor was perturbed. First of all, what I did was blunder. If at all it is come to, it's a great offense, and he would even be in prison also, if at all for the what he has done. And slowly, what happened once he was shifted from the operation theater to the ward. Suddenly, slow in half an hour, entire almost the pillows and everything soaked in blood. A lot of bleeding was happening. So again, he removed it, and again he bandaged it. It happened many times. Every time he was bandaging it, knowing that it was not he who is doing it, knowing that it is not the thing which he is supposed to do as per the regular medical practice, he was doing it, and knowing that he was not doing it, he was perturbed what is going to happen. Slowly what happened, the bleeding decreased. One day, yeah, first day it was very quite intense. Slowly it decreased. Slowly developed, and but he was like very particular about this particular patient, because if something goes out here, he would be in his problem, everything would be in soup. So he very strict instructions were given to the staff, to his room, and also that he should never allow this person outside anywhere. So slowly things were getting better, and this when I came to know that Swami was coming to Amritsar, and he wanted to badly want to have darshan of Swami. So in spite of everyone warning him, he would go and he would garland also Swami, and he would come back. So he would have wonderful darshan of Swami and he would come back. So slowly everything falls in place. That has whatever that wound or everything was completely now gone. And suddenly, yeah, tests are like no continuous tests will be there. We never know Swami. As we have seen in Bhagavat Vahini, we've seen sometimes he lift us up to the core and again he'll just drop us from there. But he is there always with us. One thing beauty about Swami is he never says that, no, I'll annihilate this problem or something. He would say, I'm there with you. I sail with you in everything. So that itself is, for us a great recourse, or we would say we need not get disheartened because he's with us in every point of time. Sometimes, yeah, we may be having the most difficult part of our life. Sometimes we may be most happiest also, the happiest part of our life also. But in both the times, he is there. We need to remember that awareness, that constant integrated awareness should be there, that he is there. That's why to everyone, Kalisi Baridham, Kalisi, he would say, I'm there with you. I'm also suffering with you. I'm also enjoying with you. He would say, okay, I will annihilate you, just be happy always. I'll take care, he would say, definitely say. But he say, I'm also there with you. I think that is enough for us to face any challenge that comes in our way. Because Swami is there, he'll take care. So if we need to go through, yeah, we need to go through. As we told, no, if something we are going through is something that he wants us to go through, because it is ultimately good for our own progress. Otherwise, it would never happen. As Ramana Maharshi would say, something that is not bound to happen, how much ever you try, it would not happen. Something which is bound to happen, it would happen, how much ever you try to avert it. So that's like that. Our own faith should be like Swami is there with us. That's it. Whatever phase of life we may be going through, but Swami is there with us. So that should give us a lot of courage and adversity in facing all the challenges in life. So now, when everything was okay, he felt Vinay, there was a sudden blow again. His own brother deceived him in business. So suddenly, Swami's ways are different. Suddenly, his life became from riches to rags. A lot of losses. It was quite a heavy blow because something from his own brother that happened because of his own brother. So it would happen with some other partner. Probably we can understand, but a very family member, own blood is doing that. Definitely, it is something which is very tough to digest. But Swami is always there. That's what he never lost hope. Asahaya Sahaya Namaha. He's always there. He would go. Swami said 1976, that was the year. So he goes and he tells everything. Swami, this is what happened. And Swami said, don't look back. Don't ever look back. Always look forward. Everything is fine. I'll take care. I'm always with you. So just keep doing what you're doing. Baga pani chahiye. I will set everything right. I'm there. I'll set everything right. Don't look back. Now, don't think that why it had happened, everything. So that was the bad phase of his life. Slowly, slowly, he did whatever as per instructions. He never left Swami. One thing is just like Pandavas never left. In good times or bad times, Krishna is only recourse. So they just held him tight. So also, Vinay held him always tight. Held Swami's feet always tight and he never left. And slowly, slowly again, he started, within a year, slowly he started tasting victory in his business and other things. So help came from somewhere, he from never expected sources also. Help came and he became victorious slowly. I mean, within a year itself, it could happen. So suddenly one day, when again, he comes to Parthi, suddenly Swami slowly, one after the other, he would give responsibility. Now you become no state president. So it was in 1977. Swami said, now you become. So one more big. So he was already went through everything. Now one more responsibility, Swami. So Anil Kumar always, Professor Anil Kumar always say, see, at certain distance from fire, it would give warmth. So you should never try to come near the fire. It will burn you. So he would always say, no, at certain distance, okay, so Swami is always, no, it feels like warmth. But slowly, slowly, because Anil Kumar sir was also like enjoying his time being a devotee and later as a state president. But when Sharali Swami asked him to come and join as a principal of Vrindavan, he was like totally, perturbed. He was like tossing and turning on his bed. He was not able to sleep because what is this? No, he had a lot of experiences also from his own I mean, Swami's staff itself, that it's like fire only, from the frying pan to the fire. That kind of thing will be there. So he was restless. Anil Kumar sir was restless. So what to do at that point of time? Suddenly, see, if he proposes, he will take care. That is there. When Swami himself proposes, so so that after a few days, Swami was giving a lecture, and so Anil Kumar sir was translating. Swami was telling a particular incident in Ramayana. Swami was telling that it was the time they were searching for Sita. All these Vanaras were searching for Sita. So Rama first goes and requests Angada. So whether you would be, you would go in search of Sita, so and so direction. He would say, no, no, I'm too young to this task, young to perform this task. Then he would go to Jambavanta. Then Jambavanta would say, I'm too old for this task. I would not be able to do it. Then he would ask each and everyone. Finally, he comes to Hanuman. And Hanuman immediately accepted with no other thought, with no second thought, he would accept it. You would go in search of Sita? Yes, I would go. So do you know where Lanka is? Which direction is? Yeah, they say in this direction. So you know how it looks? No. Have you been there earlier? No, I haven't been. I don't know. So you know how Sita looks? I don't know. So you know the way or what are the hurdles are there to reach Lanka? I don't know. Then with what courage you said yes? Rama asks him. See, when you have ordered, it's a complete package. Everything will be there. You will give all the Shakti, Yukti, everything in that. So I need not worry about that. In your order itself is a big package. So you ordered me to go, that means everything will be taken care of. So I have that. In the same way, when Swami entrusts you some responsibility, he'll take care of everything. So like that, he looked at Anil Kumar sir. So Swami, I got my lesson. Because he was tossing and turning on the bed because of this, and suddenly he looks at Swami. Like this, Swami will take care. Like just like you should have like faith like Hanuman. Just like my order itself is a complete package. Everything is there in that. That's what Swami gave this presidentship, state presidentship to Mr. Vinay also, and he was like suggesting some other names. Swami. Swami said no. Swami was like, no, 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 no. You only have to do. So suddenly ultimately he accepted. So he became state president of Sathya Seva organizations Punjab in 1977 until recently, till 5 years ago also, till that he served in that capacity. So 1980, Bhagwan instructed him to organize a Punjabi kitchen as a part of his birthday celebration. So he arranged everything in the Punjabi, all the Punjabi style and everything was arranged and successfully. Uh, And suddenly what happened? Yeah, he gave order. He didn't arrange. Swami gave order that you have to do. This is your responsibility for this birthday that you need to bring so on many cooks and you have to arrange this. So 23rd birthday and he thought of going on 18th. Suddenly on 8th November, he develops a sort of stroke, heart stroke. Again, he would go to doctor and they would say, you are not supposed to travel long distances at all. It's very, no, you should not go anywhere. Suddenly it's like again one more test after test coming. But one thing is he's not giving up. Whatever it is, it's not giving up. It was like, so now if I go, they even told that even your life would be at risk if you go, if you travel that long. He contemplated, what is the point now? Better if I go and die at Swami's feet, that is much better rather than not doing his work and dying in embarrassment. If I don't go, mentally or no, maybe I would die within because I haven't followed his command. It's very clearly given as Swami himself told. In my command, everything is there. So Swami himself commanded me to organize a kitchen. So that means everything will be taken care. So if I die also, let us say I will die, let me die at his feet only. Why should I worry? Otherwise, I would die in embarrassment in here itself. So he decided to go irrespective of warnings from every side. So even his family members gave warnings and they even thought that this man doesn't have a brain. He's very, he is a foolish person. Like that, he started getting a lot of comments, but irrespective of all that, he took up his journey. Even he faced and even he even experienced that definitely this would be my final journey. So because that level of hurdles were there in the journey, that a lot of circumstances were like that. He faced a lot of challenges. on the path, but finally he reached Parthi. When he sat in the darshan line again, and Swami asked, "No, everything is fine. What's up, man? What's up, Vinay? Swami, everything is fine. I had some this thing." Swami just manifested vibhuti and just applied it his chest. See, this is my place. Heart is the place where I live. How can it get attacked? So Swami said, "Heart is the place where I live. How can it get attacked? No heart attack," he said. So that sort of boosted his spirit. Suddenly he again started enthusiastically doing his work and everything he concentrated. So 1984, there was an office bearers conference, and that time he took his friend's son along with him. Then Swami looked at him and said, "Oh, you came with the boy." And Swami said, then he said, "Swami, not my boy, my friend's boy, my friend's son he is." So Swami repeatedly asking, "Oh, you came with your boy?" "Swami, not my boy, my friend's boy." Again, Swami would ask, "Oh, you came with the boy?" "Swami, not my boy, it's my friend's boy." Like that, it was like continuously he was asking, and he was replying the same. Later, I contemplated why Bhagwan is asking me something. I have a relation with this boy, or whatever. So, because there will be deep meaning. Even a small gesture of Swami, even a Swami's eye movement, also will have a very great meaning in that. So, we should be very careful when Swami is repeatedly asking something. So suddenly, a marriage proposal came for his daughter from this, friend only, who were quite well-to-do. They were not even matched to his, status. They were quite high in status, but yet they only brought the proposal. He never had any intentions to make that boy his son-in-law, but the proposal came from that side. But even then, his main thing, yeah, everyone told, these kind of things won't happen every time. So it is great opportunity coming on your way. You have just accept without any second thought. No, he said, "No, I have to take permission of Swami." So he would come, he would bring everyone to Parthi. Swami immediately accepts, and that's their marriage also in Parthi itself. So that's how grandly his daughter's wedding also gets finished. That's what I mean. For everything, it's like one point of contact only. Just like the great devotees we have seen, for every small problem, whether it is a knee problem or eye problem or head problem or financial problem or a family problem or whatever the problem, only one point of contact, single point of contact. That's what Vinay made, the single point of contact. Whatever problem he had. If you have seen, we have all sort of problems he had faced. We look at from the right, from the first health problems he had faced, even almost his wealth was about to go, and he also lost the wealth. First time Swami saved him from a robber, but when it is supposed to go, it has to happen. So he made it go. So it definitely, yeah, it is something a very great blow to him, but it is a progress in sadhana. So he knows it. But anyway, he got back also. So he has tasted victory also soon with Bhagwan's grace. So like that, he has seen all the problems, but one thing is, yeah, his single point of contact has always been Swami. It's not that someone else or something else, but always Swami, like all the great ideal devotees did. So 1985, again, he got the opportunity to arrange that Punjabi kitchen at Parthi as a part of some celebrations. So he even arranged some 60 cooks coming all the way from Punjab. So he gave very strict instructions. You are not supposed to, what all the disciplines you need to maintain, what are the decorum you need to maintain in the ashram, and no one is supposed to, especially booze. So very clearly he gave instructions. So they were cooks. They thought, okay, this man might tell like that. So without his knowledge, they packed in small bags all those bottles. Those days, actually, now we have Prashant Nilayam railway station, but those days it was everyone had to come till Dharmavaram. From Dharmavaram, we would take bus and come to Parthi. So they were actually boarding the luggage and everything was taking out the luggage from the train. And suddenly, what happened, because of too much of load, all these bottles were broken. All these cooks were completely embarrassed. And this man was like, he's like, what blunder would have happened if at all? No, it's like Swami's miracle only. Swami, right time he had opened the eyes, and everyone was embarrassed. And he gave very strict instructions next time. This is not supposed, He felt even bad, and he felt even grateful to Swami for having revealed this to him at the right time. So those cooks were, very strictly monitored, and slowly that particular 10-15 days they spent in Parthi, It sort of brought a sort of transformation in them. They're not even touched no anywhere. They didn't go outside anywhere. Not even they didn't even smoke a little also. To that level they maintained, and this didn't stop there. Once they went back home, uh, they continued a sort of lifestyle where some of them even stopped cooking non-veg. They gave up everything. They gave up alcohol. See, the transformation that Swami brings in is something which is like amazing. Those people who are regular to that, which they cannot even think of without them. In 10 days, the transformation happened in the cooks also. Not only for him, it just happened in a trice. But these people in 10 days, probably that is the power of a devotee. I don't know. Maybe they have come in the company of such a devotee, whatever. That happened for them. Even their families were also started praying Swami for the transformation that has been brought in those cooks. So this is the life of Mr. Vinay. Like whatever it is, whether a person is wealthy or not, whether someone is erudite or someone is ignorant, whatever it is, we have difficulties in life. That is for sure. And in everything, Bhagwan is always there with us. And if you look at the kind of experiences Mr. Vinay had, uh, these kind of devotees only, should we go through everything what the other person had gone through? Need not be. Sometimes we need to learn from others. That's what I told. Learning from our own experiences is wise, but learning from others' experiences is wiser. So listening to such stories should develop faith in us that he is there with us always, whatever situation our life. And we should like steadfastness should increase, that we should held his feet much tighter, just like Vinay had held. And these kind of devotees would become a sort of beacons in our this life of, in our spiritual journey. These are like lamps which are illuminating, which are bright, showing us the way, guiding us. So that's why one needs to contemplate on these stories, listen to such wonderful stories, and reinforce of Swami, and try to get more, uh, proximate to Swami in thoughts, in faith, and make our life, completely a Swami's message. So with this, I close today's talk. Anything, any thoughts or any questions? I open this session to for all the devotees. Saira.
Suman,
Very Suman.
Sairam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
no, sir. Please go ahead, Mahindra. Hello.
Yes, sir, please.
Sairam, sir.
Sairam, sir. So it was just beautiful, very interesting experience of Vinay Kapoor on total surrender, And what is the beauty of this was the comparison of these experiences with Ashtotra was lovely. Next time I recite, I'm definitely going to recollect the meaning, But yeah, it is beautiful. And you mentioned one word, which really caught my attention. You mentioned the word autopilot.
Yeah.
It's a great word, that we put our life in autopilot mode, surrendering to Swami. See, and that, this reminds me again of the prayer of surrender in that Western canteen, Suman, at Parthi.
Yes.
Where it says, I shall help you only when you totally surrender. It's, and you also mentioned this prescription for each person is different,
Yes.
Even
Yes.
this prayer, it says, I will resolve the problem the way I want and not the way you expect.
You want. Correct.
We need to pray, thy will be done, that's what the prayer is all about. And it's not easy, but Vinay Kapoor's glorious example will really reinforce our thoughts on this total surrender. Thank you, Suma. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sairam, Suman.
Sairam, sir.
Today morning, what happened is like, see, my mother, I need to get some breakfast for my mother. My family went to Hyderabad.
Okay.
So I want to get some my mother. So I'm just walking towards the hotel. Okay. And I saw a Sai devotee. I never know that one of the Sai devotee residing here in my area.
Okay.
So, so I felt, like I felt immediately say Sai Ram, but I not observed what he is doing. Okay.
Okay.
So, he's actually he's smoking. I mean, standing under a tree, and then he's smoking. It didn't caught my attention. He got alerted immediately. Okay. So after that, okay, I had a nice conversation, just one minute or 1.5 minute, because it is urgent. So I just passed on. Then the thought process came into the mind. Swami, what about these? How? Because everyone will have their own different type of Vishayavasanas, right? Vishayavasanas. It's a different depth. Each one has its own kind of course. Nothing to mention. But the thought process has come, Swami, how come, how it will go off? Because Vishayavasanas is the one where it is not that much easy, impulses going out. Though you are pouring so much of satsanga, so much of Swami knowledge, and you are connected with Swami. But still, you and Swami will be knowing that. So this thought process come, and and Swami giving me the answer here in this. Right. So you only told in the course, like Swami will take his own course to take action or to support the devotee to come out of that impulsion. This is a nice one, which I take away or kind of answer from this satsang. Morning breakfast time, and by dinner time itself, I got the answer. So that is one, carefully, and the second one, which is related to the stopping of non-vegetarian food. Again, this is also the Vishayavasanas, right? They basically the Vyamoha, whatever that you have prior to that. So, though I was doing sadhana prior to coming to the Swami's fold, but at least once in 3 months, I used to get attracted to the Andhra style of fish curry. Okay. Just openly I want to tell. So it was like that. And then I moved to Hong Kong. There I went to Swami's fold. First month is done. So still that eagerness is not went off. Okay. Hong Kong is not like USA, not like New Jersey or Dallas, where you will find every corner South Indians, right? So apart from that, but in Hong Kong, it is very less population of Indians and very less South Indian population. Very few Tamilian families will be there. So you need to order. If you need something to that hotel, you need to tell him this is the preparation or something. So what happened is, I'll tell. From that day, I'm completely out of that. That's why I just want to tell. So I called him. I told him there is one Tamil hotel. So I told him, and I went to bhajans. Sunday evening, I'll go there. After completion of all those things, coming down after a month, because just my journey started with the organization and with the Swami's farm, basically. So he told what kind of fish it is, okay, and the phone. And then I went, okay, all done. And then I not went to the hotel after the bhajans and everything is over. Then I have to go to the hotel. So I went into the hall, then sitting in the second row. Swami's feet are on a soft, some cushion, like some, what is that we call mat. Okay, a cushion mat is there. Swami's picture is there. The moment I see, after that,
it's in the hotel.
No, I'm talking in the center, in our Sai center.
Okay.
Sitting in the second row, I'm looking at Swami's feet, the photo. That feet are there in the soft mat, and the other portion of the soft mat. I mean, after the padam, there will be some kind of place where leftover place will be like a little bumped up, right? Kind of cushion will be. That part alone is looking like a fish. I'm seeing that. I thought to know. No, it is not fish. Then then again it is looking like. So it's a very indication. Then I told him to pack and gave it to in my room. That's it. That is the day. That fish also gone.
You didn't eat it or you ate that day?
No. I asked him to pack it because I already ordered and we can't say cancel.
Okay.
It's very less people. So that parcel I gave it to my roommates. I mean, like the guys who are there, working with us, and so I gave it to them, and then that is the last day. So when I'm talking to that, all these two things are coming up. Of course, this is not the one, and that Chamatkar, Sanskar, and Sakshatkar was very nice, actually. Right. Thank you, Suman.
Thank you, sir. Any thoughts or questions? Sridhar sir, anything you'd like to?
Very wonderful sharing, Suman brother. It's very nice. What I take home is you become wise by your own experiences. And when you learn from others' experience, you become wiser. It's a very strong punchline which attracts my mind. Thank you. A great evening. Enjoyed every bit.
Thank you, sir.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sir. Any thoughts or questions? Anything you'd like to share, please? Jaya, madam.
Hi Ram, a very blissful session. Though we know everything about surrender and that Swami is there even during the difficult times, at least I tend to forget it. So I feel these satsangs are so important, like a gentle nudge, a reminder kind of. So listening to these stories are really a great inspiration. Thank you so much for all your effort. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Any more questions or thoughts before closing?
Suman, you told about 3 C's. I'm able to remember 2. One is, the first one is the last one is complaint. So the third one.
Don't compare, don't complain, don't criticize.
Criticize. Okay. Good. Thank you.
So we'll be closing this session with Asatoma. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti 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 Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki Jai.
Jai.
Thank you all. Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram.
Thank you. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, Suman. Sai Ram.
Thank you, sir. Sridhar sir, thank you.
Sairam, sir.
Right.
Sairam, brother. Sairam.